welcome to the Nighttime Heat directed on Pram FM 105.5. Tonight we are streaming live on Pram FM Monrovia 105.5 and also streaming live on our YouTube and our Facebook page. Just tap Nighttime Heat on your Facebook or on your YouTube channel, and of course, we're going to watch the show online. Tonight promises to be very, very interesting. We have some interesting discussions. And of course, shortly I'll be giving you the lineup of what we'll be talking about tonight. We are also streaming live, like I said, on Pram FM Monrovia 105.5, and of course, streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Well, we want you to share the show as usual. Kindly share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the Nighttime Heat. So let me just acquaint you with what is coming up. Tonight we'll try to figure out what is happening at the DEA. That's the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. You know, the agency has been in news over some 250,000 reported scandal at the DEA. We'll be trying to figure out tonight what's happening. We hope we can get the spokesperson of the DEA in studio for out of 40 or close to an hour. And then also, you know, the MCC has taken to court the Liberia Marketing Authority I think, for violation of city ordinance. Okay. So while we'll be talking more about the MCC taking the LMA to court. You know, that is an HO problem. I understand, in fact, I can remember a few years back when the MCC again took issue with the LMA on grounds that the marketers are the ones who are, compiling the garbage, and they don't pay any cent to the MCC. So maybe it is against that backdrop that the MCC are going to court to hold the LMA liable. We'll talk about that. Commerce Minister has embarked on a major inspection just a few days after President Bork has quoted that ministry. The president said, you have a lot to do. And so we heard that today, the Minister of Self, and the team will not freeze that. What is happening at LBS again? The head of news has resigned. In fact, this is not the first time, just in 1 year, since the new administration was appointed at LBS, headed by Eugene Fagon, and laws broke up again between the management team and some employees, which witnessed the dismissal, the outright dismissal of the president of the Workers' Union at the time, Joseph Sion. So Sion was the first guy who was booted out of LBS, and this time around, it's the man Vafli come on. Well, I understand that Vafli did resign. We're going to follow that tonight. Well, on the sideline of our discussion tonight, the LSCC has pushed back on critics, since the Anti-Corruption Commission cleared a couple of individuals, including Natman Gill. There's been criticisms against the LACC. We don't know why the criticisms, what really triggered the criticisms. We're going to talk about that tonight because the LACC, in fact, held a press briefing today explaining circumstances that led to the clearance of Nathaniel McGill, the former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. We understand that the president is conducting an emergency cabinet. Well, how true is that? I'm hoping that this cabinet can address a couple of things as usual to benefit our people. We'll talk about that as well. And then today, I'm sure you're quite aware that the March term of court opened today. And of course, the Chief Justice made a very, very, strong remark, in fact, that's trending on social media. It's been reported that the Chief Justice said, well, the court is prepared to take issue with anyone who is vulgar, in other words, invectives and all of that. He said the court is a place to discipline the society. We want to talk about that tonight as well. I think our panelists are coming in full now. We just received two of our panelists, Joseph Milan Benedictus Erasmus Nambutawe has always been the first. Benedictus, welcome, and how was the weekend?
Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone in Liberia and everywhere. Good evening to our studio backups who are here. Kennedy, George Kennedy, let me speak to you so you can see. Let me start with George Kennedy. Good evening, family. Good evening.
No, this is not your place. It's not your responsibility.
Well,
You are not a lead host. I'm just welcoming you, and I expect you to say, "Oh, someone, thank you. I'm pleased to be here." But you want to welcome the other people. You want to usurp my function?
Now that they met me here, let me welcome.
No, you don't need to welcome.
Okay, let me extend my greetings to the guys in the diaspora. I hope that
You still welcoming people.
we have a wonderful discussion tonight.
Okay. Prince, me let you know. Well, maybe he may. Edwin, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sobor, and I'm glad to be here as always.
Okay. George Kennedy, we didn't see you 2 days, man.
Yes, I've been so busy.
With some family matters.
Yes,
And you sorted that out successfully?
yeah, successfully. I think you can see me momentarily tonight.
Yeah.
I said, is that Mateo?
Yes, in fact, let me throw something out for Matilda Pico. Again, congratulations and happy birthday. That's a birthday, right?
Yes.
Yes, happy birthday, Matilda. This is a good friend, Sobo George. This show, in fact, let me dedicate the entire show to you, Matilda, former managing director of the National Food Authority. And we know what you did there. You were working very assiduously, improving the post as well. Congratulations and happy birthday, Matilda. Okay, I know Moses will shortly come. Gentlemen, will have tonight at 8:30 the spokesperson of the DA, that's the Drugs Enforcement Agency, to hear as to what's happening at the DA. The DA has been in the news again for all the bad reasons over the issue of some 250,000 money scandals. So we hope to speak with he will be coming to the studio in a moment from now, and of course we hope to speak with him at 8:30. But in the meantime, let's try to talk about our programs on the margin. Our stories. The LSCC kind of push in that video for me. The LSCC. Let's try to talk about the LSCC quickly before it can be 8:30. The LSCC they push back on critics. Since the LSCC cleared Nat Mangill, Nasana Mangill, former Minister of State, and others, there has been this whole criticism. Some said that the LSC didn't do a good job, including.
But what happened? Why issued a clearance only to Senator McGill? So does that mean there was no payroll pardon? Or does that mean nothing happened? I will provide the information. Even though our act prohibits us from speaking about investigations until we obtain indictment, but in this instant case, we will speak about it because it involves public interest and the public deserves to know. Since the clearance is out there, so the public must also know the situation surrounding the issuance of the clearance. So, LNCC investigated a complaint from the Ministry of State regarding supplementary payroll that was observed during the period 2018 to 2023 that did not follow the CSA standing order. There were people placed on the payroll of the Ministry of State and they were being paid, but they did not follow the CSA standing order, which required that vacancies must be advertised, people must go for interviews, all in an intent to give qualified Liberians the opportunity to apply for these vacancies. So our investigation established that during that period, there were other officials, senior officials of the Ministry of State who were directly responsible, who signed documents that placed these people, on a check roll, on a payroll, who signed checks that pay salary to these people, who signed letters authorizing the placement of, in fact, we established, we're not saying that payroll pardoning did not happen. We established that payroll pardoning happened. We established that there were 731 persons placed on the payroll during the period 2018 to 2023 outside of the CSA standing order. And our investigation established that there were senior officials of the Ministry of State, as I earlier mentioned, that were responsible, including the Deputy Minister for Administration, the HR personnel, the controller, and other high level ranking officials then at the Ministry of State. But our investigation at this time has not established any documentary evidence, paperwork signed by Senator McGill that links him to the payroll pardoning. And I want to say this is the reason why we go to court to draw up indictment based on documentary evidence, not based on hearsay. All the documents that were presented before, I don't know how they were doing it at the ministry. They probably were doing oral authorization, but there's no document that he signed that is before us. Is anybody out there in the public has document that they want to bring to the public? Like I said, if you look at the clearance, it says here, the clearance is issued based on the findings of this investigation. It does not serve as an endorsement or guarantee anything beyond the scope of this investigation.
Okay, so gentlemen, you're listening to the chair of the LACC. Since the issue of McGill came up, Martin Colley and the rest of folks then take issue with the LACC boss, and so she was triggered today to call a press conference to explain as to why. And if you listen to her explanation, but let me hear from you first. You are a legal mind. Give us your own takeaway.
Well, like we said the other night, these issues basically, if it has to go to court, will have to be backed by evidence. Mm-hmm. And the law itself put the burden of proof on the accuser. And in this matter, since it's a criminal matter, it means that the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that actually what they're saying or what they're alleging is facts. Now, if you listen to the NCC, but she was very clear. If we're going to go on an indictment to the court, why are we going with? Is it based on perception? Is it based on the hearsay? We have to produce documents to the court, because before the court is not going to listen to what Martin Colley or other people are saying. The court is going to look at the evidence that will be adduced in court. So if you don't have the evidence, why do you want to waste this time? Yeah. And one thing that people don't understand in this country, litigation is very expensive, it's time consuming. So if at all you perceive that Fanguleh did something wrong and you don't have the evidence, don't waste your time to go to court, because the court is not going to manufacture evidence for you. So I think this is the clarity that she was trying to give. Now, when you look at the structure of the Ministry of State itself, is the Minister of State the one who employs people? No, there are other layers there, and that's why she was clear that there are other layers that will be further investigated. Now, if there are documentary links to show that Senator McGill, then as Minister of State, participated in the issues also.
Okay. Moses, welcome to the program. Let's try to welcome Moses quickly. Okay, he gone off. We'll try to welcome him. Dave, let's hear your ticket.
You know, the LCC boss is very clear. And look, that song was said, the quote will not be on the LCC was people who criticizing the LCC, maybe they expected the LCC to manufacture evidence that would link McGill. As far as the LCC investigations were concerned, as I listened to the lady, there's no any shred of evidence that linked Mange to the Peru party. Maybe Mange out of smart, he looked at the future and manipulate, and make sure that people were employed. But he made sure that he didn't put a pin on any people that would link him tomorrow. So he acted smart. He acted smart. There's no way that the Ministry of State would have employed people without Mange's concern. But Mange, being very smart, as he acted. So the LCC, those who criticizing the LCC, they want the LCC to take decisions. The LCC, they expected the LCC to take decisions that at the end of the day will embarrass the LCC because no evidence. Those who accuse Mange and others, they didn't provide any evidence.
Okay, let's try to welcome Moses quickly to the program. Moses, welcome to the program. Moses, welcome. Moses, welcome to the program. Moses, welcome. Okay, let's hear your takeaway.
But in any case, I want to first of all say happy birthday to my mistress. Someone who is my mother.
You said it already before the one you wore a t-shirt.
Yes. So, no, that someone said it's someone.
Yes, we have to quickly. We have a limited time. I'll occupy the entire program dedicated to your mother. Are you not happy?
Madam Matela will be fine. A great woman. So, look, I can't say anything longer than what Mr. Famble and Mr. Baba said here, because in law, people go to court based on the strength of their evidence. If the evidence, you don't have evidence to go to court, no need for you to spend for nothing money. And we shouldn't take this now because it's Minister McGill, he was holding this position, he's under U.S. sanctions, so every other allegation is that he's guilty. If we do so, then we'll be judging in the court of public opinion, but the judgment in the court may be different, which may even embarrass us. The lady came out very clear. If it was some other public corporations, there's no way he wasn't going to take later without the help of the corporation signing. But maybe the Ministry of State is quite different, where the minister can verbally get instruction to say, oh, employ so number of persons, these are the names, employ them without his signature on it, and the HR and administration person usually in charge of HR and the HR themselves, So they go, they do the employment, and they won't really name those who participated in the employment. That don't go after the people.
Okay, let me welcome Moses to the program. Moses, welcome.
Yeah, hello also.
Yeah, but why are you not coming on video?
I tried to come on video, but I said that we have a technical glitch. It's very terrible for my area. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So I would just go in if you guys don't mind to participate.
Okay, so we are discussing that we will have the spokesperson of the DA in studio at 8:30, but we are currently looking at the LACC issue. We are on a margin of our program. What is your takeaway from what you heard concerning the LACC spokesperson, the LACC head?
Honestly speaking, like I said before, fighting corruption in Liberia is very difficult. And let's go from the managerial thousands of dollars to those people. And the NSCC is telling us that the human resource manager at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs was aware of the process. The Deputy for Administration was aware of the process. Other senior officials of the ministry were aware of the process. The only person according to the LSCC that wasn't aware, that did not participate, there's no evidence that links this person to that fraud, is the Minister of State. Is the former Minister of State. I beg to differ. I beg to differ because nowhere except the LSCC is telling us that when Natuna Mate was Minister of State, he did not exercise due diligence. And so the NSCC is telling us that when Natuna Mate was Minister of State, there was what we call negligence. He was never involved. He didn't execute what was required of him. How do you be Minister of State? We're not talking about $2. We're not talking about 2 persons. Is the NSCC telling us that one morning, Natuna Mate went to work and you saw more than 50 persons in the building and didn't even ask a question? When the people submitted the payrolls to him that needed to be paid, is the NSCC telling us that Natuna Mate did not have to say, look, see an increase in salaries. Where is this money going?
So Moses,
So the former minister, what I'm saying, the former minister had a fiduciary responsibility.
okay, so Moses,
His job was to represent the interest of the country.
now Moses, I think our law provides that I'm not a lawyer, but crime is not transferable. Yes, you know, Magil was the head of the Ministry of State, but he had some undermen. He had undermen who were carrying on the functions that that they were given. And if those undermen were caught in whatever which is being referred to as payroll party, I don't think Magil can be held responsible because, like the NSCC said, there's absolutely no documentary evidence linking him. And I want to also believe what LSCC looks for is the criminal aspect of the case. The LSCC doesn't look for administrative lapses and blunders, no. So I think maybe the law can add up to that. Let's hear from Edwin because we have to. Edwin, let's hear from you.
Let me just say something quickly before Edwin comes in, right? And it is good that we have Edwin in the studio. He knows that's what they call what? Circumstantial evidence. It means that indirect evidence. That's that. So,
Moses, that circumstantial evidence you're making reference to, it doesn't hold in this matter. Absolutely not, it doesn't hold.
I'm trying to get Moses' point. Is it proving that the Minister of State signed the payroll, the monthly payroll?
But those are documentary evidence.
So if all he
He doesn't sign
signed,
it.
if all he saw and signed, it means that he was endorsing. So all of those things people need to
Let Edwin come in.
But first of all, circumstantial evidence is basically used that will give you meat to the meat evidence itself to the matter, right? In this case, this is not what we're talking about. In this case, what is being argued is that what directly lead Minister Magil to be convicted of the crime or whatever actions they're trying to accuse him of. Now, the structure of the Ministry of State that we all know, there's a minister, there's a deputy minister for administration, there's different ministers who are there. So most often, the Minister of State doesn't even deal with payroll. So because the Minister of State is the chief of staff to the president. He's very busy arranging meetings and doing that. So that's why you have deputies and you have administrative, you have assistant ministers and so forth. So when you take those decisions, most of the thing it just goes straight to the controller for payment. Now,
reason why LACC said there's no shred of evidence, because if LACC had gone through all of the payrolls and they saw Minister McGill's signatures on them, it means that he's implicated. Because yes, because he has seen it and he should have acted, or he should have asked some questions. But going through all of those payrolls, they didn't see his signatures on them. Just didn't see them.
So there's no any.
Yeah, that is okay. Like you said, crimes are not
transferable.
Yes.
Okay. So Moses going off again. We're listening to the Nighttime Heat directed on Prime FM 105.5. We are streaming live on Prime FM Arosa 105.5, and also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. We want you to share tonight's show, share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. So, gentlemen, like we said on our flyer, as part of our discussion, we ask as to what is happening at the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, the DEA, because we are hearing and reading stories about the DEA authorities being involved with some $250,000 scandal, money seized from the border point. So we sought to today reach out to the authorities of the DEA. Like we said, this program is not basically to beat on the government, but also to help espouse, the government's interests as well, and also to help if there's a need to beat on the government. We're surely going to beat on the government, but if there's a need, also to do our own due diligence in finding out what's happening inside government. We do that due diligence. So we sought to bring on board tonight, bring to the program. I'm sure he's here for 40 minutes. The spokesperson of the LDEA, that's the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. Mr. Spokesperson, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Okay, your name, full name?
Okay, and I'm Orlando Deming, the official spokesperson of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency. And I also bring in greetings from them, from our three ORCs, that is DCP, Victor Kim Diago, Colonel Aniel Stape, and also ACP Patrick Kumonsu.
Okay, they are all your bosses.
Yeah.
Now, they chose to bring you into the heat, so it's good that you're part of the heat. Now, let me introduce my team to you, Mr. David Tabo, because David has come to the heat. After today, the morning stuff we talked about the DA, but they chose to put you ahead, so please accept to go through the heat. David Tabo is sitting close to you, and next is Edwin Famola. He's the lawyer on the program, and next to Edwin is George Kennedy. George is a Liberian journalist, and then our diaspora panelist, Mr. Moses Sangi. I'm sure you will also place some calls and questions as well. But in the meantime, let me keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
What is happening at the DA?
The DA, as I speak now, we are pretty well. We are pretty seated, and we are on our official government functions. And of recent, I think Staton was the one that kicked off this whole Urubadu that is ongoing currently as we speak. But besides that, the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency is doing pretty well.
Okay, so let me ask you in specifically about the Urubadu that you're working with. What is it?
There was a case arrested from Grand Cape Mount County in February. Yes, I don't know the exact date now. But we arrested a case in February involving a Guinean national. Abu Bakar. He was arrested with 1 million worth of tramadol. 1 million plus worth of tramadol, Liberian dollars. Tramadol. And then also in that arrest, we also arrested cash in the tune of 150,000 United States dollars. And then that money was brought over to the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency headquarters in Montserrat County. It was turned over, and currently as we speak, that money has been deposited at the Central Bank of Liberia, and then pending the court, because that case has been forwarded to court already. So pending the outcome of that court is ruling, that's how we know what next to be done with the money. But for now, that money is deposited.
So who arrested this trader, this traveler? Who arrested him?
He was arrested by DA, the Grand Cape County Detachment Commander, which is Adulai Kumar. He was the commander.
Arresting at the
Bullwater side.
At the Bullwater side.
Yeah.
So immediately, okay, let me welcome Moses again. I think Moses is now on. Moses, welcome to the program. Okay. It seems that they're in Iran. So, again, let me ask you, okay, you said the guy was arrested at the border point. Now, when he was arrested, what happened there? What happened? I mean, how did the DA approach it?
Okay, the whole arrest narrow goal estate. The boss came from across, from Sierra Leone side, came from Guinea, passed through Sierra Leone and entered Liberia. When they entered, they traveled our own car and brought the car in, because they had a place there where you park the car for them to check the car. And he got down from the car and gave the key to his assistant driver. The Abu Bakr man that were arrested. He was the assistant driver on the car. He gave him the key and he was selling. So the police checked the entire car. There were no drugs on the car. But then when they went in the front seat, they see he was sitting on the driver's seat. When they lifted it up, they found bags in the seat there. When they checked in the bag,
Plastic bags or what kind of bags?
bags, traveling bag. Okay. They saw money and they saw tramadol. So they asked the man, when they came down to the driver, they found the driver, he was nowhere.
He left the car.
He had left the car and he has cornered the human left. So only the assistant driver, we met there and talking, we said, oh, we brought the car. Where the man had brought the car? He said, I'm no. And then he gave me the car key and said, you people away. And he left. So we arrested the case, and then the commander that was there called our deputy for operation, who is ACP Patrick, on the situation. So commander said, okay, we'll bring the case in town. They brought the case in town. When the case came, we decided to do background check as to whether the information said the first thing we did was to investigate our own officer as to whether the money they reported, whether it's the exact money that was taken from the border. We went to we sent we go up internal inquiry there to investigate it, and they did an investigation. And then we contacted the FIU, the Financial Intelligence Unit, in that border. We contacted them to come and help us in that investigation, because to my knowledge is if certain amount of money is entering that border, you got to declare it at the border when it's not passing through the banks, through banking system.
That's money laundering.
Yeah, money laundering. So you got to declare it. So since the money was not declared, so we call FIU to come and see where the money that then, but then the money was also arrested along with drugs. So the problem there is we don't know whether that money is just money or the money laundering. So we then said, but then since this is the case, let's send the case to court, because there was a Fuda guy in town here by the name of Alpha Jaro. Alpha Jaro came and he cleaned the money. He said his uncle in Guinea said he 250,000 United States dollars to be received for him to use to do his gold business there. So the FIU man asked him some questions, and then he couldn't really authenticate, because the money that came, he said 250, and the money we received is 150. So that was the disparity in the money. So he said, but then the money is not for you, we say for him. So he said, but then since it's the case, if you get to the court will decide. So the FIU man here contacted the FIU in Guinea, and he tried to find the man in Guinea there that sent the money that this man claiming sent money to him. He called it through for no approve. The food can ring. The food is off. So he said, but then how can we authenticate it? So say you claiming the money, you go to the court with the money, with the drugs, and you have to talk it to the
Now, when your people saw the money, the question I'm asking, how, because they contacted your headquarters, and then you immediately dispatch the board of inquiry. The board, I'm sure, having conducted the investigation, they did a report, right?
The report had not been officially turned over to the director of the National Trust Enforcement Agency.
What did the report say?
The report had not been turned over, so again.
Because the conflicting thing is that we are hearing about 250,000 United States dollars, and you are making reference to 150,000 United States dollars.
Yeah.
So it's conflicting. Which one do we accept? Which one do we take?
Yeah, that's what I said. The Alpha Jado guy in town here that have the whole business running here, he is claiming that his uncle Igili sent him 250,000. So and recently we received 150. So how can we compromise that? So that is where the investigation stands. So that's why we sent our board now to go to on the border there to investigate and ask other security apparatus as to where they saw the DEA when they made the arrest and how much was the amount they arrested. So to authenticate this man claim of 250,000 and our officer claim of 150,000. So that is the sticking point we're all looking up to.
Before I go to my quickly, has the DEA launched an internal investigation
Into which case now?
into this current case?
Yes, that's why we say we send our board of internal inquiry to the border because the incident occurred at the border in both other sides.
So in addition to that, you
Yeah.
have 2 of the men in detention, right?
You know, they are currently under investigation.
Are they not in detention?
They are not in detention.
We
but
got
they
a
are-
video of them in detention. All right, let me leave you and go to James Chapel.
So my question would be, at the border side entry, there are a couple of different security apparatus. You have a whole joint security team, right? At the LDA, you have immigration, you have custom. During the time of the arrest and the confiscation of the cash and the drugs, was it only DE officers or were other joint security officers that were present?
That is why we send our people there to investigate because we want to know whether when they made the arrest, other security apparatus were involved in that arrest. Because if we made the arrest, you counting the money, other people will see it. Other people will see it. So that's why we send our people there to investigate.
But from your own investigation or from your own internal inquiry, maybe from the OIC or your other guys who are there, have you spoken to other guys who were there, any other security apparatus, and what feedback are they giving to them based on their non-incursion?
All of the people that we have contacted for now, all of them still speaks to that 150,000.
Okay. So is this the first large amount of cash that have been confiscated at that entry point, or is a continuing thing every now and then with the DEA?
And that particular entry point is the first.
But we arrested some huge amount of US dollar in RIA, this one part of last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the process of keeping that money until it goes to court, is it through the central bank or DEA?
Yeah,
has a
to the
bank
central
account?
bank. No, to the central bank.
Okay.
Okay, Josh.
I have a few questions because if you, at the bullet points, if someone is traveling with cash above of the amount that he's supposed to carry,
Yeah, 10,000.
who is that person supposed to declare that amount to at the border custom?
The FIU.
The FIU.
Yeah.
It's not immigration, right?
No, FIU.
So at FIU at that particular
Yeah, they are assigned there.
checkpoint at that time?
They are at the border. They
Now,
got their
so
officers assigned there.
since you launched an investigation at the border, have you gotten any outcomes from that investigation?
That's the investigation report I say speaking up to. The board went there to do the investigation to come and inform us. Then we'll know the next step to take.
So it means that the investigation report has not come out yet.
No,
And
not yet.
you just admitted to the fact that you got few of your men on the investigation in Monrovia. But
Yes.
they are not in detention.
Yes.
For what?
For they see they see a case that is ongoing.
Uh-huh.
The board that went there
Yeah.
to investigate this case now.
Yeah.
When they came back, instead of reporting to the Liberia Justice Enforcement Agency, the information leaked to Stockton.
So my point is,
Yeah.
information leaking to Stanton, Bo Gale. Why are you investigating your men in Monrovia now? I want to know. The men that you said they're not in detention.
We are investigating them on how this information leaked out. The information you gather from both water side. Because when they went to do the
So you say that these people who you are investigating Monrovia, they were on the board,
they are on the board.
Okay, not the officers.
or not the officers?
Not the officers.
So that's why I wanted to clear, right?
No. That's the board we are now investigating. They went to investigate the officers and they even interview custom officers, immigration officers, and all the information leaked.
So can you tell me who all constituted your board? Who all were the members of the board?
Yeah, the board chair is Jeffrey DeLong.
From
He's
where?
the chairman. From DA. All they are members of the Liberia Justice Enforcement
So
Agency.
how can you tell me, I'm not a lawyer,
Mhm.
that the DA officer in this case
Yeah.
is really allegedly accused of crime,
Mhm.
such a crime at the border? So you set a committee, the DA officers go there to go do that on that particular committee.
Yeah, because it's still internal. It's internal. So that's why we decided to send our internal board to go there and investigate.
Now
The
that-
outcome from there,
Yeah.
if we know now that the process in which the money was arrested and brought in town, if it didn't pass through the proper procedure, then we're going to tell them, the officers that did the arrest, we're going to chastise them, tell them their shortcoming in the arrest made. But for that, the report are not reached out yet.
What is the information between the driver's assistant, who the driver left the key with,
Yeah.
relative to this particular amount?
The man said he don't know anything about the drugs and the money.
So for me, I read
The
from
boss
So,
man,
so,
yes.
so my question now comes.
Yeah.
There were two persons on the vehicle. I mean, talking about the driver who handed the key over to the assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, as from what I heard from you, he's on the run, right?
Yeah. It's
He-
on the wrong.
Are there efforts to pursue him, or are you pursuing him?
Yeah, we pursuing him. We check the borderline. We are not seeing him. Even that's why I told you the FIU got in connection with the FIU in Guinea, and then they also try, because we gave the number to them to contact him in Guinea to ask him as to how much he sent, but to no avail. He has not answered even if phone is off. We can't get him.
Okay, so you're listening, viewers watching the nighttime heat. Right here, I'm coming, Moses, I'm coming. You're just coming home. And listeners also, you are watching, you are listening, listening to the program.
You read there?
Listening to the program, the nighttime heat. We are streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. We are also streaming live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Now, before I come to Moses, you said few of the people are not in detention. About 2-3 of them will know that are currently in detention. If we just pull out the photograph of them being in detention, you prepare to resign your post?
I'm prepared to resign my post. There is nobody currently in detention as we speak.
Okay.
But their investigation ongoing, and that investigation will constitute that when now we are now bringing in now external investigator to investigate the board as to how the information leak out. That's the main thing.
All right, let me read what the Liberian investigator is reporting. Yeah? Then you can respond to that. Moses, I'll come to you very shortly. According to the situation report, officers also discovered US $150,000 in cash in a black bag on the vehicle front seat. You said that. However, several key officials later told investigators that no cash or money was ever turned over to them, contradicting the official account. That's
Yeah.
true, right?
No,
That's
it's
true?
not true. No.
Okay. All right, we respond to that. I come in. Deputy County Commander Trocon Jackson
Mhm.
testified that the arresting officers delivered only the confiscated drugs. The arresting officer came to my office. Okay, it's in quotation now.
Yeah.
The people put in quotation. The arresting officer came to my office with the tramadol. Unfortunately, there was no cash turned over to me, Jackson told investigators. To my utmost surprise, it was the following day that I started hearing about money. You know about that also, right?
Yes, I know about that. And
Fine.
I know about that investigation.
Okay. Jackson said even investigators within his office were unaware that any cash had been recovered during the operation. Now, why is this whole conflicting accounts coming out of the investigation? At one point in time, the Jackson said he didn't see any money. Officer didn't turn over any money. But at one point in time, it was oh no, money came. What is this?
And so what I shall like to add it up. So when monies are confiscated at the border, on such circumstances you're talking about, how do you process it to get to the office or to get to the court or to get to the bank? Who handles it immediately? What is the procedure in handling such a money? I mean, the chain that it follows to get to either the bank or to the headquarters. What is the protocol?
That is why I told you we launched investigation and we decided to send our internal investigation to do the internal investigation to know as to whether they follow procedure in arresting money. Because if this money was arrested, the FIU should be involved. If the money is not, if it was not connected with Josna, it was just arrested, you should turn that money over to FIU, and then FIU will apply their tax rate because you smuggle the money into the country. So they will apply their tax rate. When they deduct their tax, they give your money back to you. That is the law. But in this case, it was not done. So that's why we sent our people there to go and investigate them to know as to whether they follow those procedures. People that should be involved in money that is being smuggled into Liberia or by any other means, whether they follow that procedures. So that's why we sent the board there to go and find out and come and inform us. The thing that Togo is saying, that he may not be in the know because he's not an operation man to be on the field. He's in the office. So the commander and the operation man, they were on the field and they saw the money and they called right away in Montserrat and O2 went there and told them, let's go in town.
So who brought the money? O2?
Yes, he brought the money.
It came corrected?
Exactly 150,000. And
Not 250,000.
No, 150,000.
So, all right, let me bring Moses in. Moses, you can come in now.
Yeah, look, my brother, how are you today, man? My name is Moses Sandy. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
And let me say hi to everyone. That technology been giving me some tough time here, but just gentlemen, give me a little bit of time. Let me talk to my colleague, my media colleague. Do you agree that what you're trying to defend is indefensible?
No.
Okay, good. Have you listened to some of the audios from Stenton Witherspoon?
I didn't listen to it.
But then how do you defend something that you have not even listened to?
Because I read the account in front page. Front page gave account of it.
But don't you think it was necessary, you the communication person, that hey, I'm going to speak on this, that I need to have a better understanding of it. Don't you think it was essential that you listen to the audio? That will put you in a better frame of mind. Don't you think so?
No, it's necessary for me to listen to it, but I was not able to.
All right, so I'm asking you all of these questions here because, like my colleagues have asked you, there's absolute contradiction in everything from your top officers at the LDA. At one point, the money reported was $100,000.
No,
Another point, it
150.
became $150,000. I'm speaking based on what I listened to. You didn't listen to it. Let me give you the information. Your officer said it. One of your bosses called and said, look, change that number to 100,000. Then later it was changed to 150,000. This incident occurred in February. It took you guys almost 2 weeks before making the deposit. Why? And what is the process? What is the process? Because the question that Mr. Tagwe asked you is a very salient question. What is the procedure? What is the routine whenever money is arrested at the border? And you were not able to speak to that. Why?
Okay, let him respond. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying the information provided by Stockton is false and misleading. We never ever gave an account of at the LDA or on the LDA official Facebook page to say that we received 150,000, no, or 100,000, no. We didn't give any account of money. The first report we ever gave out, we only said the drugs were confiscated. It was
No,
today.
sir, I heard your officer say that. I heard your officer say that on the audio. Your officer was saying his boss called and told him, look, increase this to 100,000, and then later it became 150,000. And you saying that's not true?
That because the people, according to the information, the people that were interviewed on Stockton, they have the immigration people there, voice were played, the custom voice were played, and then the FIU person voice were played. So that's what I'm saying. We are currently carrying investigation to know who leaked that information to them, to the public, because we send our people there to investigate and report back to us and tell us how things went on there. But instead, the information was supposed to hear on spoon. That's the problem.
So let me comment. Where is this coming from? Who do you attribute this whole? Because it came as an embarrassment to the entire DA.
Yes.
To change the image of the DA.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you be honest to tell us as to where all of these are coming from? Who do you think could be responsible?
I can't attribute that to any specific person for now, because the board is under investigation. Maybe somebody may have encouraged them to do it, and we don't know the source behind this idea of leaking the information out. We don't know the source. I told them.
Are your bosses troubled by this?
They are not troubled at all.
But is there any suspicion among you officials or the senior ones? Any suspicion amongst them in your building? People talking about it, about being suspicious that
No, it was
in terms of the cash, because there are conflicting reports. Some say 100,000, some say 150,000, some say 200,000. Is there any suspicion amongst your officials?
No, the three directors, they are all clear. We have meeting. It was even this morning when we went to the office before other people in the buildings get to know the exact amount of money that were confiscated.
When did you deposit the money?
We deposited that money, I think it was in early this month. Deposited that money, yes.
Okay.
Well, George, let me answer that question for you. Let me have the PRO. The money was deposited on Friday. That's what I said. You came to defend something that is indefensible. You don't have the facts.
Yeah, Friday. Let's go weekend. Friday.
It was on Friday when the money was deposited. There's a bank slip from the National Bank that was displayed.
Okay.
And you say it was early this month. So you see the inconsistency for you?
It was last week.
So it can be disputed for that. Now, is it possible for us to see the slip because you deposited at the central bank?
That where another problem came in again.
How did it still get to the
The money was deposited,
at the CBL.
At the CBL, and they carried the slip to the investigators, our investigator. And then he carried a copy of this investigation, that slip, to the director for for operation office. And the director for operation was not in. And they handed that copy to his special assistant.
Who they did now? Who they?
The investigators.
Who was the money?
Yeah, they carried the money, the slip, and carried to the O2 office. But he was not around. So they left it with his special assistant.
You know, the reason why I asked the question whether your bosses are troubled, because this continues to haunt the DEA. Before your bosses went there, before they were appointed as the new officers in charge, ORC, they had other ORCs there. In fact, first it was Kuma and others. They had a clash. Again, reportedly over resources. They had a clash. And you know why it was held for? You know how they had a clash?
The clash there, it was not for money. It was for appointment power.
Powers, yeah. Fine, they had a clash, right? Now, one of them took a pistol, in fact, to shoot the other one, and that was all around in the media. They were removed, and then another ORC came. For him, he said the ground was not suitable for him. Lot of challenges were confronting him, so he left.
It was Christopher Peters.
Thank you. You know all of them names, people. So he left. Now the new batch came.
You know what? They appointed director Anthony Saw.
Anthony Saw. And Saw too was somehow, and Saw left. They removed him, right?
Yeah, the president removed him
because Saw was not doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now they brought young, energetic, men
from the Labrador National Police.
From the Labrador National Police. Both of them were drawn from there.
Yeah.
We are hearing about another issue again at the DEA. Is it not troubling for them?
For them, they are not trouble. As I said previously, they are not trouble at all.
No, they may not be trouble that they I don't mean they did something wrong, but are they not trouble that because they expect it to be confirmed, to be affirmed, to hurt that place, for the next years to come, and this has happened. I did not trouble that their stay there may be short-lived.
They are working, and they are working perfectly in accordance with the DA constitutional mandate. They are implementing it to the fullest. So they are not trouble at all. Because as you may know, currently as we speak, the drugs on the market is being reduced drastically based on the step that these guys have taken. So they are not trouble at all because they are working, and up to now the guys are still on the street working. That's why you see now the prices of drugs is escalating. One tramadol tablet now is sold at $200, $250 to see it now. $100.
How much it used to cost?
$50.
Oh, okay.
So it's escalating, and I think you may know that when they certain video from West Point where the guy was selling drugs, he will go with Kino in the middle of the water. Then all the guys that want to buy the drugs will go and surround the Kino. When he served them, before they come back, and he go by his business. So that's how now it's like to get the drugs. Just to get the drugs is not easy, and we are even going now into what they do river. We are going deeper into it, breaking down those ghettos. That when you see those places that those guys go to take their drugs, it's pathetic because they will just go and build those makeshift structure and sit down over the water there and just take their drugs.
Yes, sir. So please clarify something. Please clarify.
We'll see allowing to go. We'll see allowing to go. I think it's time.
Thank you so much. Let me clarify something for me. I heard he use the word escalate. Do you know what it means when we talk about escalation in a crisis? Because if you're telling us that the problem of addiction in the country has escalated, it means that
the price of tramadol. That's what he said.
So okay, so the price of tramadol has gone high, and that means that there's a high demand for that.
No. That
Don't-
means,
don't
it
worry.
means that there's a low supply.
It's basic economics.
He's
It's
right.
basic economics.
Yeah.
The higher the
demand.
demand, the higher the demand, the higher the prices.
No, I'm not speaking economic now.
Oh, come on. My man, this is just simple logic. This is simple logic. Let me help you understand. I'm also in the business of addiction. Okay? I treat people every day. That's why I ask you this question. Are you telling us if the LDA is working so well to decrease this problem, then we should not see a hike? We should not see a hike in the demand. If you're telling us that you guys are making progress, we should not see a hike in the demand. So which is which now?
Of the trauma.
No, but Brother Sandy,
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to say is basically because it's not difficult to get the drugs in the country,
Tramadol.
the tramadol, so the price have gone up. It's not difficult to find it. But he's not saying that it's a good thing. What he's saying that because of the crackdown that FDA is making now, it's difficult
It's
to find
scarce.
the drugs on the market. It's scarce.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I got it. I got it. Thank you. Thank
I
you.
want to
Yeah, you
break
must
the
be going,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think there was a procedure failure at the border.
Yes.
And I think you guys need to work on it.
Mhm.
Like you rightly said. Now, once the money was caught with for drugs, that money becomes fruit of that crime.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with FIU or so and so. That money, that all those things strictly now goes through the DA process. Because the mere fact that there's a precedent for drugs, that particular money becomes the fruit of the crime.
Yes.
So therefore, you guys should have taken charge of it and make sure that everything in there, including the drugs, are well secure until it gets to your final office. I think that's where you guys break the whole chain, and then now people giving different speculations and
Yeah. Where the
interpretations.
problem coming from is when the money were arrested with the jobs, only the jobs were videotaped and you guys saw it. But the money, they kept it away from them.
I see.
So that's where the problem lies. At the Bowater side put up entry there, the DA officers that arrested the money kept it from the joint security. They didn't know about it, they didn't see it.
So the guy who claiming the money, who say his uncle sent the money for him, where is he now? Is he in?
He's at Central Prison.
Okay, yeah, because he's a suspect.
Yeah, he's a suspect.
Yeah.
We link him with the money and the drugs,
And the drugs there.
and he
I'm not going to brain you right now because you didn't brain enough.
Nobody.
Just tell me right now.
Just
Just tell me right now the status of the DEA in terms of how to call it, logistics, manpower, in terms of your presence across the country. The 15 counties. Tell me.
our manpower is still low. And when it comes to men that are employed, but we have men all over. But majority of
Yeah,
them,
right there. The men that were studying to be employed, have people employed them?
we sending them down to the academy. The first batch is on the academy, by the 16 or 17 of this month, they will come out to go for their parole. They will
Tell me
come.
now about the first question I asked. Your logistics.
Is logistics?
Yeah.
We are expecting about 10 vehicles this year again from government
What do you
to
have?
build up our capacity in the counties, because the first 15 vehicles that the president gave us, we have 5 of it in Mosorado and the 10 in the counties, and so it's still insufficient for the county use.
Do you guys have DEA officers at all of our crossing points? Because I know it's difficult.
It's difficult.
Especially
Well,
people at Lofa.
You have more than 250 plus crossing points. Some of
yeah,
that just footpath.
we have people there in Lofa, but not to all the border points,
Wow.
because we don't have the capacity.
And even the sea entry too, all of these
Yeah.
different coastal counties. also.
That's why we are now collaborating with the
Coast Guard.
Coast Guard and Maritime to help us.
You got sufficient money right now. Budget they give more than $7 million.
But you can buy our boat.
So people who do drug business, I better.
Yeah.
People who do drugs business, who sell drugs, who consume drugs, they are dangerous people.
Mhm.
So what safety measures do you have in place as an agency of government fighting drugs? How you the personnel, your DA personnel, how do they counter these kind of dangerous people? Because they got to fight back.
Yeah.
Because you're going after drug dealers, drug users, they sometimes fight back and fight back in a way that you may lose your life. So what is security measures have
Yeah.
you put in place?
It's good you brought these questions because these are things that we are confronted with on a daily basis when we go out in discharging our duty. Because sometimes you go out there, you will see that the low consumers, we call them the less fortunate or commonly called Zogos, they are there to protect the person that is selling the drugs to them.
Okay.
That's their work there. So when they see DA going to arrest the man, they will create commotion to fight, to defend the man, to take the man from DA. And now DA is not carrying gun, pepper spray, and other things. We are not.
I know, but
You
that's
don't-
dangerous
you
for
don't-
you
you don't-
guys.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
it's-
dangerous.
What's
it's-
for handcuffs?
we have handcuffs.
Yeah, but what you do by a couple of a platoon, at least 50 or 60 men.
Yeah. So what will you do? So that's the problem. So we are still calling on government and other philanthropists to come in and help us with pepper spray or batu.
But the government should even try to get your arms. You
Yeah,
get
that's
people
what we
to
are
trust
talking about.
and
We're talking
you
about
have
arms.
guns.
Yeah.
But are there discussions going on to
Yeah, there are discussions going on. There are
Okay.
discussions going on.
So, General, I think we
So,
yeah.
so
Moses, you have to go.
I don't want to ask a question. I just want to say something briefly. Talk about the question you're asking, regarding individuals who are addicted to substances. The role of the LDA is to go after the importers, the sellers. It becomes our role, somebody like me, it becomes our role to help rehabilitate those people through counseling services. And that's where a lot of money is invested. That's where government really need to do a lot of investment. That is absolutely lacking. We do not have the trained manpower. We do not have the money. We do not have clinics around the country. There are so many things that we don't have. And government need to look in that direction. The LDA is trying its best. But like the brother said, they are under-supported. So they don't do that security aspect of it, and the government set up clinics around the country and recruit people who know what they do to help these guys get off the street. That's what I would like to say.
All right. Thank you very much. Demi,
Yeah.
we want to thank you for coming. I think you were able to provide clarification to all what we've been hearing about regarding the issue of 150,000. In fact, it was being reported that the money was 250,000. A lot of conflicts, but you've been able to clarify that today, which you well. Thank you for coming, and we hope to get back to you.
Okay. And thank you once again for the invite. And we hope that this cooperation will continue as we explain our duty to the Liberian people through your media.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, gentlemen, we have to allow you to go. First, Dave, let's get your takeaway.
Someone.
Let's get your takeaway quickly.
Yeah. Anyway, he provide whatever clarification he had to provide. But the thing is that the DA needs to, put it acts together, most especially at the borders. The coordination, most especially, I do know that the DA worked with other security agencies, the one we call them the joint security. And in such a situation, we're talking about the DA single-handedly handled that matter and did not get the the joint security, other agencies of other security agencies that are part of the joint security were not totally involved in the incident at the border, and even in the handling of the money. So actually, they need to work together as joint security. And another thing again is that you talk about limited resources in terms of logistics for the LDA people to work with, most especially men on the field, engaging drug dealers and drug pushers. They barehandedly, go after them. And so I think they are at risk. They are at risk, and there's a need that maybe the government can maybe increase the budget of the LDA, and even think about equipping personnel of the LDA, because it's risky or dangerous in terms of fighting drugs with your bare hands, no pepper spray, no gun,
Okay.
and all that thing.
Okay, Edwin, your takeaways.
Well, I think the spokesman was actually emphatic to be able to actually provide clarity on this information. I also read that story today in the newspaper with the 250,000 and the different conflicting stories that are coming out. But what I would say, I think our security agencies are challenged in terms of secrecy, intelligence gathering, because if you're dealing with an institution like the LDA, people have to be very tight-lipped on certain things. Look at what the guy said here. Someone went to the bank, deposited the money, they brought the slip. The person who's supposed to receive the slip is not there, and then somebody get the slip, and then you look, the slip is in the media. So it shows a very dangerous trend for these institutions that deal with sensitive information. That could be some information for some guy who bringing in drugs or so. And how sure are we that some of these informations are not leaking from the DEA, where there is a whole plan, a tactic plan to go after somebody, and somebody in the system here, and just pick up the phone and call the guy, and the guy is condemned? How sure are we that maybe even the guy who brought the boss, maybe you got an intelligence that when you get to the place that they were arrested, so just find a way and leave? So it shows that there is an internal problem that they actually need to work on.
Okay, Josh, your takeaway.
Well, he did well. He's consistently said the amount is 150,000.
Contrary to media reports.
In fact, the fact that the bank slip can show 150,000 shows that yes, it's 150,000.
No, that's what they deposited.
I'm talking about deposit.
But what the bank slip shows.
Yeah, I think it don't deposit bank slip will not show it if what the bank slip shows. So that is a major component of the case, in my opinion, because in case of anybody claiming anything, this is our government card, this is our government. But I thought that the officers, the operation present at the border works under who? Is it the county commander? How can you confiscate such amount, then the county commander didn't know? So how does he defend or speak for his men? I think that was another breakdown in communication. I think the county commander should have been the first person to know from right there on the spot at border. He should have been the one to place a call to Monrovia. I thought that should have been the chain of command. I don't know how they are chain of command knows that, but in administration, that's what we do. But
okay. All right. So let's go there and go to Moses quickly.
The deputy county commander.
Yeah. Moses, your takeaway.
Maybe the commander was not on duty. Maybe
what I would like to say is that honestly, the current situation has created serious public relations problem for the LDA, and if they don't handle this situation well, the people at the top of the leadership may run the risk of being terminated, because they has created integrity problem for the LDA. If your job is to go after criminal, and you are now being investigated for reportedly engaging in a criminal activity, then what moral rectitude or standing do you have to go after Moses Sandy. You see, so this is a serious problem for the leadership. Liberians will say, but what kind of LDA is this when they themselves are stealing from people? That's how I see it. It's an uphill task.
Okay. Thank you, Moses. We have to transition. Are you listening to the Nighttime Heat? Kindly share the live video right here on Prime FM 105.5. We are also streaming on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5 and streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Gentlemen, let's talk about the March term of court reopening today and a comment being attributed to the Chief Justice. Let's try to talk about that. We'll also be talking about the Commerce Ministry embarking on major inspection days after the president scolded that ministry. We hope to talk about the issue concerning the Liberal Broadcasting System today. So, gentlemen, let's hear from you, Edwin. I'm sure you may have either attended the opening of the March term of
No,
court.
sir. I
You
didn't
didn't?
attend. No, I
Okay,
didn't
but
attend
have you been
today.
seeing this statement being attributed to the Chief
To the
Justice?
Chief Justice, yes.
Let me read. He said the court is open and it will act against any person who uses vulgar language. The court is also here to discipline society, as was done in the case of Prophet Key.
Yeah. So I did follow that, and like you rightly said, now I think I said it the other night that in our legal system, the Supreme Court has two terms: the October term and the March term. So they just came back on today, which is the second Monday in March for the March term of court. Now, if you actually follow the Prophet Key case, in the Prophet Key ruling, the court quoted the constitutional provision that says that the republic has to make sure to maintain the cultural value and the sanity of our country, which means that the court and the state itself is under obligations to actually propagate morals that are acceptable, all right, in our society. So the Chief Justice was just saying a caveat that don't think that this thing was only because of Prophet Key. No. But what we want to do is that we want to have a moral society where people live by proper practice and norms. Now, let's even go from the side of the statutory law, right? Because we have dual legal system in Liberia. We have statutory and customary. If you go in the interior where they have no courts, you and I know that there are laws that govern even the people who are there who are not educated. You cannot go, if you say you cannot go to the quick access clock, you dare don't go there. You cannot stay in the middle of the town and insult. You cannot insult a lady. And the society there abide by those norms. So this is almost like the same thing that they're bringing down to the civilized people. That look, in as much as you are educated, you have all of the technology. But our laws say we should have proper practice culture that our children will grow up with. Now waking up every morning and somebody on Facebook sending out invectives and insulting people. So
Now,
I
so
think that's what
the
the
question
court
is, and Moses,
to
maybe let me
forward.
ask this question generally. How does the court intend to penalize people? The court be out there having agents who will be listening to?
No.
But how does the court intend to do that?
No, so the court has
Okay,
set up a
so-
new precedent.
No, let me.
Okay,
let
that
me,
was just
Moses,
coming.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not a lawyer. I'm sure my brother Famulek can better speak to that. What I do know of is that morality cannot be legislated. You can make any law that say, oh, well, you know, a man cannot go after another man. No, that's morality right there. You cannot make any law that say, oh, well, you know, when you're speaking to others, you have to bow your head down. No, as morality. So basically, I'm saying that what the law protects is what what the law punishes is what vulgarity. If you say something that defames somebody, that hurts someone, the person can go to court and seek legal redress. What I would like to know from my brother Family, based on what the Chief Justice said, is he in any way insinuating that beginning now, the courts or the Supreme Court itself will begin to go after people after, say for example, if I come on the radio, I come on this podcast and start referring to somebody, in a very condescending, defamatory way, start putting somebody down, using profanities and all of that. The next day, will I get a subpoena to go to court and be prosecuted? Is that what the court intends to do?
No. The Supreme Court does not go looking for cases or does not go looking for people to prosecute. Now, the only reason why the Supreme Court even went that way because they believe that the self-styled Prophet Key comment or statement was meant to bring the court to public disrepute.
Absolutely.
And then in this case, if you say the court, like I always say, the court is not a building. It is the justices that made out the court. If those 5 justices come to Prime FM studio tonight and sit there and say we're hearing cases, this become the court. So any attempt to denigrate any of them is like you're bringing the court to public disrepute. So that's why they went after him. Now, the precedent case has now been said that when you use vulgar language against Mr. Fambule and Mr. Fambule feels injured, he has remedy at law. He can go to court and take legal actions against Mr. Kennedy, who have used vocal language against me. And there'll be a lot of precedent cases that are there. And also there are other statutory laws that also will be used to prosecute Mr. Fambule in this matter.
But that's
what the Supreme Court is now saying.
But somewhat that has been the case that when people get on the radio and use vulgar language against an individual, the individual goes court, right? If the individual feels injured.
So the court itself will not go after people.
By the way the statement came out of the Chief Justice, it sounded as if
the court comes
after people. The court will go after anybody who uses vulgar language on any place.
And that is
that's how it sounded.
That is part of our
but
job.
it has been the case.
That is part of our job.
And you're absolutely right, Time, man.
Yeah.
Our job is because where we sit as journalists, we are seeing as a lot of people that understand when policymakers speak. If all they speak and we don't understand, that's why we have the proximity to ask them to do a follow-up. What do you mean by this? Now, what I understood from the Chief Justice is that, look, anybody feels injured by anybody, another person, you are free to go to the court. It doesn't mean that the court will go after you.
But this has been the case, that's what I mean.
No,
it's always been the case.
Yes, but a lot of people don't even to even take action. Oh, nothing will happen.
Yeah, you go to the court,
and they will just waste your time. And
but the question, the concern is George and the rest of the team. Letaba said the way it came out, it has a tendency of putting fear in people.
No, but
the way they understand. That's how you understood it.
No, but if someone says the court is ready to let's try to get a statement again.
Get it straight.
Anybody that they were trying to get a statement, let's try to get a statement and look at it just as it was said by the Chief Justice. Okay, the court is open, and it will act against any person who uses vulgar language. The court is also here to discipline society. As was done in the case of Prophet.
The court is here. The court will discipline anybody. It means
if someone has a problem,
is found guilty.
No. I come in.
Wait now.
No, I come in now. I come in. Does that mean? Is it saying that if someone has a problem against
Mr. Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy, and he goes to court, the court will punish the person, or
Fine.
does
In the
it
person's
mean
fault,
no,
okay.
I'm coming?
Wait.
Or does it mean that the court will go after somebody?
The court doesn't go after
the
people.
court
But when
doesn't
Chief
go
Justice said the
after
same.
people. What really happened is the court
Are we offline? Are we offline?
No, we are online, Moses.
Oh, I can hear. Okay.
You can hear, except you. Maybe you.
Yeah, so maybe you are hearing from someone.
Yeah.
Maybe you're
So,
hearing
so
from
the
someone.
truth is, it's good to put this thing rightly.
Mhm.
One key responsibility we have as journalists is to try to understand and get the intent of the speaker.
Yeah.
The man is very, very clear. The court is open.
Open, yes.
The court is here to discipline anyone who uses vulgarities or whatsoever.
So whether it's
It's
against the
simply
court or
saying
not.
you have to be found guilty for using vulgarities.
But that's
which is
what-
the punished.
But let me
Why else you
My
want to
point,
say
not
that?
my
No,
point
let me-
here, Kennedy, is my point is this is not Latin, like English.
Okay, so let me
Understand it.
no let,
But
let
what
me
I'm saying, it has been the case that anyone that uses vulgar, if I use vulgar language against Kennedy and Kennedy feels injured, Kennedy can go to
So-
court.
When
no,
I
so-
saw it,
so-
not from
so-
people from the key, when I
so-
saw it.
so
Name me one instance
so
case.
what a chief justice is
No,
simply trying to
excuse me. Let me
say.
show. Name me one instant case where the person abused the person and went to court.
So
But when if someone doesn't want to go to
Not from
court,
the key.
no, but let me just come in. I think what a chief justice is trying to say, right? He was very clear that look, this whole thing about people feel that you can go on the internet, insult people, or go out there and use vocal language. Look, kindly know that the court is now open. If you feel injured by these things, you have remedy at law.
I
You
know.
go to the
And
court.
the court will go after
And the
the
court will go
person
after
when
that
they're
case. And when the person is found guilty, whatever penalty that person is supposed to face will fix it. So it's just sending a
You know why?
It
You
is
know
not
why?
like it is not like the
is
court
that
will
not
come and
something?
go after people.
Is that not something that we know already?
You may have known it, but he's just trying to re-echo
No,
it just because he knows he can say it.
But this is the reason why. Here's the reason why. When you communicating,
Clarity.
you got to be very clear. Because if you are not clear, it has the tendency of creating confusion.
Why are you
In the
wearing
minds
on
of
the,
the people.
why you wearing on the
You were
radio?
on the radio as a lawyer.
No, but chief,
Maybe you would have been a bit
But
complicated.
I'm not a lawyer. I understood.
No, but you
You understood it.
understand the way you understand it.
Well,
You
I
understand it.
very
No,
clear.
but you
Please
see,
English.
but Slowball, you and I know for time immemorial, the court does not go look for cases. It's the cases that go look for the
Yeah.
court. So definitely, if the chief justice speak the way he spoke, it's just basically telling the public that look,
Utilize the
judicial system. If you feel injured,
Finish.
and you have
That's
remedy
all.
at law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finish. I mean,
All right, you're listening to the
Why
Nighttime
do I
Heat
put my
right here on Prom FM 105.5. We are streaming live on Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. And of course, also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. That's the Nighttime Heat, Facebook, and the YouTube channel. Gentlemen, let's try to get that video about the Ministry of Commerce. The ministry has started an inspection. Let's look at the video first.
yeah, you might know my blood. Yeah. Make sure myself.
Okay.
Happy birthday, mommy.
When you pay for
You're
airtime.
listening to the Nighttime Heat. Right here on Prom FM.
Don't you delegate to the
Yeah.
woman. What's up?
Well, good morning and welcome to Women Voices newspaper and online television. My name is Sampat Pakima, and this morning we are live at the Radisson Market, where Commerce Ministry is out here doing some inspection on expired goods and
That's interesting.
high pricing. High pricing and so as you can see, this shop has been locked because of high pricing. So sorry when I said expired goods. So we are out here this morning with Commerce Ministry as they are carrying on inspection of high pricing. And there are few stores has been locked already.
Gentlemen, we see the Ministry of Commerce intensifying its inspection. We understand from the journalists that some stores were closed as well by the ministry, and this just came a few days after the president's cabinet meeting, where he was very, very emphatic on, in another word, the poor performance of the ministry. You heard the president saying we don't want chicken feet here, and of course on three times he said it. The Ministry of Commerce has a lot to do. The Ministry of Commerce has a lot to do, and the Ministry of Commerce has a lot to do. Now, gentlemen, we see the minister now out. They say that the president has, in another word, pushed what the minister is doing now. Dave, let's hear from
You know, the first thing I'd like to say, somebody, is that as media people, when we're doing the kind of live commentaries, we have to be careful. We have to be
Seriously.
careful what we say. You know, I remember there was a fire incident on Ashman Street, and the reporter, the live guy who was doing the live commentary, he said the house has been set ablaze. He said the house was set ablaze in his commentary. So I said, well, but who intentionally set people house ablaze? Then in the same recording, he said, the fact that people are coming to investigate what caused the fire. so we have to now. Yes, a journalist who follow an inspector on the field. We follow the commerce minister, or the inspectors from the commerce ministry inspecting goods at various marketplaces or stores or wherever. And the journalist stands that there hasn't been any conclusion that expired goods were discovered or the goods they were inspecting were expired. He already said that the lady already said that expired goods. That's what the guy was engaging on, because they were.
All right. So on the substantive now.
On the substantive is that, look, the commerce minister has seen her almost like a turtle. They have to put fire on her back before she moves. So, as far as I'm concerned, others will be concerned. That's what she's doing is eye service. It's complete eye service. Didn't she know that inspections supposed to have been done on a periodical basis of goods coming into the country? The president had to tell her first before. Now she's getting on the field. She's getting on the field, acting like she's serious. I think that what she's doing is a complete eye service.
Okay, Edwin.
Well, I wouldn't say that. What I would say.
That's my position. I appreciate about the eye service.
Well, what I would say, I think, based on the president's observation and calling Madame Dagosse to the spotlight, that indeed her ministry has a lot of work to do and need to do more in the whole issue of expired goods coming into the market. I think that in some way have pushed her to get her inspectorate team and say, look, I took the latches today from the president from the cabinet meeting, so you guys have to step out. I don't know who actually right now is the new commerce inspector, because I know I've lost track since that dog Cooper thing happened. So we don't know who's now in charge of it. But I think she's probably pushing them that, look, guys, you got to get out there and do more. You have to go into these various market outlets and make sure we start weeding out the expired goods on the market. Like I said, President Boakai is somebody who pay attention to details. He listened. In fact, I was told that he even followed Facebook. You know, he looked at his stuff and then he looked at all of these different comments, and he sometimes take note of those things. So, like I said, apparently he has seen some people complaining about these expired goods coming into the country. So he decided to just bring her and put this woman on the spotlight. I think it's a good thing that they are now out there trying to make sure that expired goods are off the market, but they also have to be out there making sure that prices are stabilized, because that's one thing that also affecting consumers. You have this fluctuation of price. Government will say this should be the price, and then when they got to take the thing and carry it to one market somewhere, he inflate the price. So commerce also have to make sure that price is stable on the market and there's no too much of fluctuations in it.
Okay, George.
I think on this, Madam Dagosa is someone who we all from the same fraternity. She's a mother. I respect her a lot. But David is right. You never have to wait until the president comes out before you could take the step. She has lots to do. The Ministry of Commerce is, if I say, one of the most crucial ministries. How the health of your people, everything lies on food that they eat. Mm-hmm. So if the quality of food on the market is not correct, it will be sold to us. Look at the market. So Lebanese beans in the can. You can't see anything good. Those Kinko Mediterranean beans that we used to eat and stuff here, we can't see them anymore. So if you go buy some of those beans, the taste alone says it's not even correct. So I think kudos to her too, because she has taken the step. She's moving around. But if you talk about pricing, overpricing, whose shop do you close? How much the person bought the wholesale from the importer? How much is supposed to sell in the store? What should be the retail price of the various commodities? Because these people who imported got the RPDs from you. Based on the RPD, are you publishing as the gasoline prices done key commodities prices for the Liberian people to see? This people got a lot of work to do in our ministry. So if you see certain commodities like oil, like most of the commodities people usually sell, you need to have their prices published for people to see, just as
the wholesale price.
Yeah, the gas and fuel looking like. In that case, people will use those documents, that information to who dealers to their feet to say, look, this is the price for that. I can't go to one station, some item and say that $4 50 cents for gas, and I know that $4 2 cents. So I would tell you, say, no, yeah, LPRC, PR, I mean, I got a press statement signed by the Minister of Commerce and the Managing Director. So how can you tell me it's $4 50 cents? Until we can graduate to that level, we still have problem. On the Aspire Boost issue, until we can be very honest and sincere with our people, ourselves, and forget about this money issue, this small taking things from the side. These things will remain on the market. People will still go and carry them in the corner and sell them because more people here want cheaper food that they can eat, forgetting about the quality, forgetting about the health implications. That's what problem we have.
Moses, what's your take on the Ministry of Commerce embarking on inspection few days after the president's coup administration?
I agree with what Mr. Tagbe and Mr. Kennedy said. What she did today, the optics are good politically. It just shows that she actually underperforming, and she went out there today because the president exposed her inadequacy. So there was no need for that. Look, as minister, you dedicate responsibility and you hold people accountable. What she needed to do today is she really wanted people out there when this thing happened last week. But last Friday, she would have discussed with her team that, hey, look, guys, I want you to go to Douala. And by the end of the day, I want to report on my decks. You don't have to be in the street. Your job is not to go inspect properties. Your job is to dedicate responsibilities and hold people accountable, and make sure you do that to the best of your ability. So, having said that, guys, I have a very tight schedule today, very busy. I will beg to take leave of you, and I look forward to coming back tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, many thanks. I
All
think
right.
my take is that let Tagwa said she she began or she embarked on the inspection basically maybe to prove a point. The president said it that the ministry is has a lot to do, and that was just an indication that not much she was doing at the ministry. In fact, in terms of even giving visibility to what she's doing or what she started doing since her appointment, we don't know much about what she's doing. Every time you engage the ministry, wanting to talk with the minister on, they will never appear. In fact, when this whole thing happened, we try again reaching out to the communication guy. We don't know whether he has that access to her, but you come back to say, oh, the minister says she has engagement. So what has been the engagement that she has that we are not seeing, that are not being reflected in the commerce of our country? Today we see what's happening. Businesses are bringing substandard products. Prices are high. Like the president said, I mean, it's not time we don't want chicken feed anymore. That was denigrating. But whenever you call, you invite, in fact, I've not heard that minister on even the government-run MeCard program. I've not heard of. So how do you think that people will know what you are doing when every time they invite you, you don't come? Every time they invite you, you always have someone to schedule. So the optics is good, but we're all saying it's belated. She should have started from the very beginning, from the get-go. Then we know something being done at the Ministry of Commerce.
So, Sabo, there is one major commodity, or what's of commodities combined in one basket, that actually bringing this economy backward: building material costs.
Yeah.
Building material costs. Do you know how much real estate tax will pay the government when they get building materials cheap in this country and build more houses? Millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But go ask for one
the way the guys price, there's no proper standard.
For one how to
Two
call
by
it,
two,
zinc,
two by two.
how to call investors, see whatsoever, Deborah zinc.
Yeah.
The guy selling it $6, $7 for one piece.
And those things in China, they are 50 cents.
When they're buying it 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents in China.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. But
I mean, so the thing is,
It's
the reason why
troubling.
Ghana is expanding, we're missing certain things. Ghana and Nigeria, you know why? Building material GPS in those countries. So you use $1,000, or you use about $5,000-$6,000 to build a whole house in Nigeria and Ghana. I'm lying to you.
no, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Before you build one house there, you gotta be talking about $20,000-$30,000.
Why?
I'm not lying to you.
I'm just trying to complete a property as well for $40,000 on a house.
So what?
Yeah.
Just imagine
Just
how
the
much
tire.
money.
In fact, just for tire alone,
Big
four pieces of tire, $25 US.
Just bring building material price down. Just go to those people. You gotta happy, Any of the people come here, they say this is how we can buy it. All the businesses are online from China. Look, I'm not like that. I said that right now, Ministry of Commerce.
Of course.
You just hit all the businesses in China and it will give you. They can WhatsApp me.
No, but the thing is that there are factories there for these things, so they'll give you the factory price. And you see what Brother Josh is saying. If care is not taken right, that business space will start closing narrowly, and then government will start losing taxes from those businesses, because librarians are now getting smart. There are more librarians now in China that are sorting these things for people,
Yeah.
and then you can get together maybe 5 or 6 of you guys, you buy a building materials in China, they put it on the container and ship
they
for you.
ship it for you.
You know, why do you want to go through all of that if I'm only going to pay maybe 15 or 20% when the goods get it? Because I know you have to transport it.
Yeah.
Rather than me paying almost 50% of the cost. But nobody checking on these things, you know.
So in other words, the Ministry of Commerce will have to do more.
Yeah,
Not just inspection, but they have to
yeah,
do more.
Yeah.
Like the president said. You listening to the nighttime heat. Gentlemen, let's finally look at the issue happening at the state broadcast. So let's look for the video of one of the director of news who just resigned today. Before his resignation, I think he gave a brief speech. Let's see what we can get a video.
Director of news. I actually got employed at LPS 2017, May 8th, and May 2026, it will make me 9 years. But unfortunately, I will not be here until May to clock 9 years. I want to tell all of you that it is emotionally difficult for me to announce that I have resigned from LPS. I will miss all of you, but I want to say thanks to all of you for the support. From day one, I came here as director of news. You work with me. You respected me just by my age. You're going to miss all of you.
Okay. Just
It was a bit emotional for him.
Gentlemen, Dave, let me begin with you. This is not the first time since the new administration took over at LBS. I think a year in, we heard about a noise again that resulted into the dismissal of the president of the workers' union, Joseph Sale. And since then, we've been hearing about internal wrangling in the top management. In fact, it is reported that the management is split. There are two groups of people in management. Just today, we heard about the resignation of the director of news. We tried talking with a few individuals, and they said the guy resigned basically because he was being bullied on the job, unnecessary, unprofessional, interruption, all of that. The guy being serving as director of news doesn't have the authority to decide which story goes. Rather, sometimes he's the dictator. That has been the point. In fact, he managed to first step aside from doing the money show. The Super Money show, he stepped aside on grounds that, again, often, in fact, on 3 occasions rather, he will invite guests, and at the end of the day, he's told that the guests pay. And so if he doesn't, his bosses will compel him, the director general. We tried speaking with sources. We tried again, we called his immediate boss, who was the deputy for media service, Hassan Kiel. He himself could not go further on why his staff resigned. But at LBS, there's continued noise.
Yeah.
What is your
when I think about the Joseph Sayan case, like I can reflect, because it was under similar circumstances that I was dismissed from EABC by James Wallow. I was the spokesman of the workers' union at that time at LBS, and something happened regarding our salaries. and because I spoke out against that, but they spoke out against the carelessness of the management at that time, and spoke for the employees, expressed our concern on behalf of the actual victim of that was dismissed by James Wallow. So when Joseph Senior was dismissed, I called him even prior to his dismissal. I called him. I told him, Joseph, I was in our same shoes. If you don't take time, you will lose your job. Quite frankly, to my word, he lost his job. Yes, of course. There's so many things we've been hearing by LBS. Sometimes I don't really say, oh, Fagon is wrong or she's right or he's not doing well there. But in some cases, sometimes I've been thinking that is he trying to instill discipline and professionalism, emphasize professionalism and discipline at LBS, and the employees want to do their own thing? Is that why? There's always tension at LBS. Don't the employees want to cooperate with the Fagon? But what I've heard so far from some of the questions I've asked former employees and even current employees said, his manner of approach, his manner of approach has always been hostile, at LBS. He doesn't know how to talk to people. He doesn't know how to talk to the staff, even his principal deputies. Sometimes they always have misunderstandings, and they always having crisis there. I heard that, in fact, one of the deputies were not wearing on speaking terms. They were not cooperating. So actually, I was not surprised at Vafle's resignation. Somebody has said it that they have been a long time they've been on it. Vafle and the Director General, in terms of the delivery of the news, the packaging of the news, the presentation of the news, the handling of the Super Money shows. People have been invited on the show, they weren't paying. But at most of the radio stations, when you invite somebody to a show, if you extend the invitation to the person to come and speak on some issues of national concern, you don't expect the person to pay.
No.
If the person calls and say, "Oh, Sabo, I want to appear on your show.
I want airtime,
or at least an hour," quite frankly, it's obvious that you have to pay some money. But where there's an issue concerning maybe lands and mines, for example, or sometimes something concerning gender ministry, and the presenter calls even an opposition politician because of certain thing, you invite the person to provide clarification or to seek some information. I mean, the person doesn't necessarily have to pay. All of us here, except maybe my two brothers here, haven't been talk show hosts, but I've been talk show hosts at the Catholic Run Radio Veritas. Yeah. Most of those we call them for a purpose, and when they come, we talk to them. We don't have to charge them, except somebody want to use his own discretion and say, "Oh, gentlemen," but it's charging somebody that you've invited to speak on pertinent national issues or a particular issue, and charging them. Now, there's a
okay. Let me hold you there, and Edwin, let's hear from you.
It's a different
First
policy.
of all, LBS was not created by the government to raise revenue.
Mm-hmm.
That's why LBS is put into the national budget. Yes, you can raise money from maybe advice, advertisement, and other stuff. But if you calling someone to come and speak to the public on national issues, I don't think you should be asking them for money. I feel sorry for the young guy because I saw him. He was almost here when he tried to give his final farewell to his colleagues that he have worked with for over 9 years or so. But this thing about LBS is not unique to LBS, and I say this because for me, all my life I've worked in state-owned enterprises from NOCAL and other areas or so. It's entrenched in our governance structure. When one management comes, they start to antagonize a certain group of people. They don't want to see you. They have issues with you. They take issues with you. Sometimes the bosses don't even want to work with you. They try to find places to push you. And if these people actually listen to the president the other day during his cabinet retreat, the president made a statement. You are not sent to ministries and agencies to go for people to like you. You are sent there to go and work with the people.
Yeah.
And I think it has to sink down to these authorities. It's everywhere. It is only LBS because we've seen it out. And I want to call on the Minister of Labor. This is something that he needs to actually step up. Like, now the Ministry of Commerce is stepping up. Because I see the Ministry of Labor going after private entities. As soon as they probably they run there, let us start investigating this state-owned enterprises, corporation, and government agency, and then start to find out behind the scene how some of these employees have been treated.
Yeah.
You will get to find out that these things is happening across every entity, but it's just because people are timid, because many people are afraid to lose their jobs because jobs hard to find, and so many people got there because somebody brought them on board. They don't want to speak out before the time, but these things are happening all over our governance structure, which of course I think is very bad. Look, the news, the director of news does not have to like Fagon. Fagon is not his dad. He worked for LBS. Yes, Fagon is the boss today, but he worked for LBS. He has a duty, so he should perform that duty. Not because Fagon don't like him or he doesn't like Fagon. And like I said, it's a normal thing across almost all government agencies. Now, people see themselves as presidents of those entities. So when they come there, everybody should bow down to them. If you don't bow down, then it means that you're not in their corner, and then they try to find a way to either get rid of you or silence you or say, you know what, I can't work with that man. You're putting in the corner, and then if the person can't stand it, like this young guy, they just give up. This guy was trying to build a career that would take him higher than LBS, but today, sadly, he has to leave.
Okay, let me hold you there, George.
It is difficult for me to say what really I want to say, but when I saw my professional colleague, Vafle, in tears and how he's been raised by professionals at that LBS since 2015, 16, 17 until now, and if you hear Vafle's voice on the radio, you know that he's been on the best tutorage at that particular entity. I heard him and I saw his physique. I know that he doesn't want to leave LBS. But whatever condition that is making him to leave, or situation is going deep down in his heart that he's not satisfied to leave. So whatever the case going there, whether the DG are fault, whether whoever are fault, there's a need to put this bigotry. There's a need to put aside this pomposity to work for the Liberian people. I don't know, you will not find many Vafle right now on the radio. Yes, other people will be groomed up through the system. But how many of them will be that Vafle? How many of them will want to stay until if all this kind of situation is going on? Wherever it is, whoever is responsible.
And luckily for Okanele, we have an former official of the LBS here on the show. So
yes. I speaking listening just because I've been passionate about what I said because I know what it means when you love something, but you have to leave it because of certain conditions. It's difficult to let go. That some propaganda going, you're going to Marina challenge people as PR. He doesn't love whatever institution he will go to compared to the law that he had for LBS that I saw. He will just walk. But from what we saw today, I think we need to look in there deeper.
Now, gentlemen, what is happening? I don't know what he has claimed the attention of the executive mansion. But from reports that we gather, the mansion is aware, especially with the beef between the director general and his deputy for media services. The director and that's that beef between them that was sinking down, coming down to people like Vafle and the rest of the other people. Because Vafle used to work under the deputy for media services,
Yeah.
the father is on radio. And the director general of media services do have that rift. So he wouldn't, show that sort of, the director general feel that the guy's loyalty is to his boss than me who is the. But it's now, gentlemen, what do you expect now, Tabo? Let me begin with you. I'm sure the board chair of LBS heard about the resignation of this guy.
The board chair heard?
The board chair heard. I'm sure you heard
okay.
about the resignation of this guy. And two, he's also in the know about the beef between the director general and his principal deputy. Tabo, if care is not taken, how do you think that could affect the working environment at LBS?
Well, I mean, if that is not solved, that means that you have a working relationship that's not cordial. Because the first thing, if the kind of work we do as broadcasters, most especially news, talk shows, and analysis, first of all, you have to be in the best frame of mind to do it. You have to be relaxed. You don't have to have worries on your mind. If not, you fully perform. So if you work in a tense environment like the picture we are getting from the Liberia broadcasting system, they're almost like the personnel, they are working on a tense environment because of the manner in which we are hearing LBS being run under the administration of Director General Fagon. And so, I mean, for example, I just hearing that the deputy who directly Vaflo works with and the Fagon, they're not in good terms. That could also trickle down to all those who are leaning on the side of this guy, maybe because of their boss. He's the guy they directly report to, or he is their direct supervisor. So if that is the case, then I hope that isn't the case. But if that's the case, then it's absolutely wrong. And because once you go on the radio, once you're working on the radio, you need to feel relaxed, free of tension, free of worries. And that's the only way you can better present your job.
Okay, let me hold you there.
Than working under a tense or hostile environment.
Okay.
Where after you left the air, then your director general waiting for you at the studio door to lambast you, sometimes unnecessarily. It kills your spirit.
So, Edwin, what do you think now needs to be done? I don't know about the board chair or the immersion.
I think the board, first of all, has to convene a meeting among the management staff, because the corporate structure basically is that
let me have it informed. Because I what I LBS, I've been following the situation there. When the noise first started between the management team, the Fagon, the Hassan, and the rest of them, they sent a chair on foreign affairs. Darius Dillon went there to broke up some peace initiative, but that didn't succeed because the misunderstanding is still continuing there.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Now the corporate structure is that there's a board of directors, and that's not only the Minister of Information, other board members who are not even government employees. I know of this Cyrus Badio. I know about Kwame Clement. These are all journalists. So what I think they need to do is, first of all, call the management to tax, because the corporate structure goes like this. The board is the highest decision making. After that, you have the management team. In fact, the management team are officers of the board. They are officers, to the board, not of the board, right? So if they try to intervene and this issue still persists, it means that they now have to report to the president and say, we believe that these people cannot work together. So either you separate them or you move one person and let other people stay there. Like it was done with the case of Enfield. It was the board that made the decision that got Dr. Tubet now from there. So this LBF board can do the same thing, because many times the executive mansion is not aware of the internal wrangling in there. So if it's coming from the board, and that's why the president's appoint a board, because that board supersede the management. That board has to now be given periodic information to the president. Say this is what is happening. But I think most of our boards in Liberia are just rubber stamp.
Okay.
Sorry to say.
Now, George, one would think that, why are these guys discussing the resignation of Africa? It's just, it's McNeil, and just the one person resigning from a big institution. But it's deeply rooted into some internal conflict for which he decided to resign. If it is not discussed and handled, there could be many that that may let to resign as well. Now, how do you think this can be addressed?
I'm hearing from you and others that mediators have gone in there, and so there's nothing that has been done. So now I agree with Mr. Family that I left with the board. If the board has made their own effort and nothing is done, I think there's a need the president separate the two. But this is the risk. What if maybe, for example, Mr. Hassan Kewu, a renowned journalist, trained media expert, you remove him, if you inject him from there, the students that he has there under his tutorage. I know personally that he grooming them, and to take over LBS in the future as best journalist, what will be their status? So you see, so that is where Mr. Clement, Mr. Barrio, and all those on the board, they have to work to safeguard the future of LBS. It is because of LBS, certain journalists on LBS, BC, that made some of us to gain interest in journalism. Even though we went print to the print side, but I tell you that we used to listen to people on the air.
Yeah.
The best English, the best presenters. We used to listen to them.
Victoria Christopher Cooper. Yeah. Fenico Weaver.
Yeah. Sarah
Badio.
He listened to Aaron Colley that came later, Yeah. And a lot of guys. We used to see the late Patrick Manjo. He used to commentate games. In fact, I learned how to commentate games because of football matches. He used to go ATS sometimes. I'll live on Clay Street. I would see him. I'll jump behind him. I'll go sit down by him. So I started. I don't even know how I used to do it. So all radio speakers and all that, or connect wire. I would sit on the other side. I would be commentating, and the speaker will be carrying it on Clay Street.
So you are all radio technicians.
No, I don't even know how I used to do it. I can't remember right now. So just imagine how the passion. Yes. Just imagine the passion to see that going down. I mean, it will hurt.
Another thing I'd like to add to is that, look, Fagon's tired of administering the affairs of LDS to me is what creating that atmosphere of disunity. Because the first thing, that place a professional terrain, and the leader of that terrain should be very professional, ethical, and even be the one to unite the people through, his administrative style. But if you running an entity of that nature with arrogance and bigotry, and maybe feel that you're close to the president and you are untouchable, then what happens? Because what we've been hearing is that, Fagon, is way of approaching issues and engaging professionals at that place that is well responsible for the disarmament, the atmosphere of the the atmosphere of disharmony at LBS. But you're talking about, getting someone out and other people remaining. To me, the head is the face of the LBS. If the head is not compatible with those with whom he works, or maybe because he doesn't like them, or they don't like them, so he wants to push them out, and I think he has to be very careful, because exactly what the president said, that people are not working with you to worship you or to like you. They're working with you for you to pursue a common goal.
Okay, gentlemen, maybe we may let to open the last briefly, but let me say something. The issue of obtaining an LBS, like Talbot said, it has to do with the head. I was, the last administration I worked there for 2 years. I was not appointed immediately Joshua came to power. No, I worked there only for 2 years. But the 2 years that I worked there for, we had a perfect management team. In fact, the managers, the 6 of us, the Mr. Young, Jara Greyview, Isaac Red, TT, Estelle, and myself. Yes, she's here. We ate together every day. That tells you the sort of camaraderie. We ate together every day. We had to lunch together every day. The 6 persons. Besides, one of the things we had in place was the management meeting that we went to every Monday, because we were division heads. I was
you got certain fees.
No certain fees. I married who gave certain fees? No. We went to that meeting every Monday, and the purpose of going to that meeting was to discuss issues that were arising.
Even strengthen your relationship.
Strengthen the relationship, but that is not happening anymore. According to sources, no management meeting anymore. Managers don't eat together, and like you said, the head. But again, one of the reasons for which we performed God first, and because we came from the background, all of us were well trained and professional media people. All of us that serve on that team, we are well trained and professional media people. So we knew, like the Vafle that resigned today, who said Vafle was all perfect in media division that I was heading. But I knew how to navigate with him. Instead of Vafle, do it this way or do it that way. In fact, I was the lead presenter of the Sport Morning Show. I would do 3 days, Vafle will come and do 2 days. So we had that. The Vafle that resigned today. But like he said, if the head is not up to the task, maybe in terms of management, it doesn't have that managerial skill as to how to navigate with the employees and how to handle issues, the institution will go nowhere. And at the end of the day, what's going to happen? ELBC's output will start dwindling, dropping, because that unity is not there, that camaraderie. It's troubling. We're hoping that, and the reason why we continue to say it's troubling to some of us, under a rescue administration, this should be happening, because the government has come to rescue every area. So we expect that the government will put people in places that they are well fit. If you appointed, let's assume Saros Barrio LBS, who's going to question that? Or if you appointed, we're not talking about some of us, about Saros Barrio and Kwame Clement, who's going to question that? Because of those guys' areas. They grew up from the newsroom. So you see, men of that nature, when you appoint LBS, you perform, because he knows how to manage a newsroom. I was there. I had almost 40-some persons in media services. I was managing them. When those guys are processing the news, I'm from one table to another table, from one table to another table, also helping while the director of news is there. We all package, the news is gone at 2 o'clock, we take a rest. But if you appointed somebody who had not done news, who doesn't know the jargons of news, Who doesn't know, it's a problem, man. We're hoping that the women can look at LBS. A reason why sometimes when it comes to LBS, we get so passionate because that's where we came from. They all got our rudiments. They all got our rudiments from LBS. So when there's trouble at LBS, it hurts some of us. It hurts us. I served in that place 2 years in media service. There was no noise. The guy who resigned today, he worked with me very well. The guy who resigned today, there was absolutely no noise. The director general and the rest of the deputies, everybody had in their divisions. At the end of the day on Monday, we go to a meeting and say, no meeting happening now. There's absolutely no meeting. We go to our meeting and say, look, media service is what's happening. Oh yeah, we got 2 of our microphones in the studio are damaged. 4 our employees will be going on leave, so we're trying to get all those who are working, instead of this. So those are things that people are discussing. You go to manage administration. Administration, what's happening? Oh yeah, I was told by technical that we needed some money to get bobs for the studio. Those are things that were happening. But where managers at that meeting is a problem, and that was happening to the LBS. Today, reportedly, the television has been taken from Mr. Hassan Kieu. And television is part of media services. You can take television from the man. But all of that happening on a rescue. You're trying to do something.
Am I trying to do something? It's funny.
0776-540-987. Again, 0776-540-987. No, George, I'm just trying to help you to do something. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or 0886-050507. Get a few calls for a few minutes. 0886-050507. Or 0778-460-793. 0778-460-793. They all of me. How do I operate? Hello? I want to call it awful. You can't help me, man. The phone I'm not able to. Okay. I'm going to open the post to your phone. Let me take the other caller. Hello? Let's hear from you. Yes, sir, Chief. Yeah, you are live. You are live. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You see your name again? Yeah, you see your name again? You are breaking. 0776-540-987. Again, 0776-540-987. Let's take this call on the line. Good evening. Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Speak up.
Okay, let's hear from you.
When it comes to LBS, let's say when it comes to UK Fagon,
It is not on speaker.
I don't know the woman name. Fagon is now administrator.
Mr. Fagon, I'm administrator.
If Fagon wants to speak to the leader of the director of operation, which is Charles Rabo, who's like Charles Rabo here. You need to call him when they start taking photos. Charles Rabo start to tell them that, oh, yeah, you cannot do they can't do that. But I think we take care of the post like Charles Rabo here. So if Fagon is not of Maringa.
Okay.
That's what they manage that place. That institution is too big for Fagon.
Okay. Okay, many thanks. You say he's not administrator. Let's hear from you quickly. Good evening. Hello. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay.
Seriously, I use lots of I
tell you.
Okay, so you raise a lot of issues. First of all, I'm one of those that really admire Fabe. Fabe is an excellent social presenter and now a journalist who has no knowledge. Emmanuel Colley, who is there now presenting him. But there are certain you can force it.
No.
You know, Emmanuel Colley is not a social host kind of person. You know, you struggle with people. It's an excellent real, can speak better about again that era. Now, again, I don't know for you by your Colley, so I don't really know why he led to the resignation and where he going there. I don't really know. But let me address this issue quickly. Pertaining to use support George. When people are LPC. Let me say this for real. Use support George and Joey Kennedy, Jose Gato, Star Radio, That was a Labrador, it was Labrador version of BBC.
Mm-hmm.
But when you went at LBC, to be frank, I was greatly disappointed in you, in that agree with you, in the other guy when certain person was looking to get every time and run away. You guys cannot make it to a proper candidate for BC. I mean,
Hello now, hello. No, wait, 1 minute. You got to be specific as to what we were saying. Or let me be concerned myself. You got to be specific. How did I turn into propaganda station? Tell me.
Good, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You play clay of Joseph Waka, play clay of other people and allow your city people to come and castigate the whole man. In fact, you yourself, they call me. And to be frank, I want to do that. If we have a meeting, I don't listen to your meeting anymore. Do you have to listen to your meeting?
You say, wait. You know, let me tell you something. It's easy. Wait now. I want to get clarity from you. You say I play clip, and what did I say? What kind of clip was it? Tell me now. What kind of clip?
Anytime you fast people at a station, you play clip from Joseph Waka. There one statement he made
Mama, you know what happened? When you know something, don't talk it. Don't know. You know what you know? Because the clip say you're talking about, can you remember to play any clip of that nature? You don't know it. You know that the same way. Let me say, remember the line. That is the same way. One time I want to go visit a guy. I come away now. Wait, remember the line. That all of you can do if you are coming to. Wait now. Let me talk now. I want to go visit one of our colleagues. No, wait. Let me check. Let me read the checkpoint. I want to go visit a guy. On Kerry Street. No, wait now. Wait. The thing you doing, that what I want to tell you, plain people can do it. You'll still be listening. You will still listen now. You'll still end. You'll still conclude. I want to go visit this guy. And we're sitting there. The guy say, oh, yeah. Someone George used to do this. Then my man asking. I was saying out. The man said, do you know Someone George? The guy said, no. And the guy said, yeah, I know the man. In fact, I've been listening to the man. I know the man. The man said, how you look? Oh, the man got body. And then my man said, yeah, the man sitting right here. I just pay my feet and say, hey, yeah. They control not go for all. Will be me yet that way. The guy look says that I got never go to my man place anymore. People just say rubbish that they don't know. How do you come and say somebody play tape? What kind of tape? Then you can call the tape name. But because you lying now, it's gonna be truthful. You saying things that you should talk, and that radio here. What, my man? This country, people just lie. They talk BB thing. Oh, the man, that man, the other man. Let me take this call up quickly. Good evening. Yeah, man. Let me really need that member through. Yeah. Let me hear from you.
My issue with you people have to do with you guys are doing your work. All are renowned gentlemen. But one thing you're supposed to do is to investigate.
Okay.
No matter how big I'm going to when you call you okay, coffee. There's a salary. We not know administratively, but we can have a pound to, or maybe you have some job coming. And then this, okay? People also we have some administration coming, so you have to go and investigate for the both party always as your courses require as journalists.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. But we managed to speak with Vafle, and Vafle has decided to just remain quiet. He just confided in us, and we can go public. We also spoke with the management team, and a member of the management team confided they don't want to go public. But there's a crisis at LBS. It's clear. Let's hear from you. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me say good evening to all of the panelists on the panel.
Okay.
This is William Covey, and I joined this conversation from District 3 as a member of the party intellectual period.
Okay.
Let me appreciate all of you for the growth of the point. First, let me begin with the BS saga. I'm not there. I do not really have shows there to do the credibility or let's say what's happening within LBS. But I think for me, all institutions have its own challenges. Like even when you were serving there, I knew there was a problem at the time. Like now we're seeing the problem coming up between the group and that of the Democrat. You know, we knew that now. That time they probably were on the application and they were doing you know, what is that? They probably maybe the call for now. Boom, on my brother, if I go and send me on their way, all of those things can also cause problems if people see you as under to them. Like, you know, you are not allowing them to complete their missions whatsoever because that area is the government communication management area. They have to pay them to support the government image out. So, for me, I would not want to look at because Fagon is now a journalist and didn't get that. Fagon is playing an administrative role. They have technical people. This one they got deputy director for technical days and technical that. Those are the people that have those are the media people who will play to the technical area. But as a head for entity, I believe it is administrative food that anybody can sell. Because Fagon self, you know, the real regime into the communication area when you're never journalist serving as a minister to the government message. So if I the government image to put in. So I think if it comes to placement, I think this government, you know, try to do well.
Okay.
So I think issue related to other discussions like you know, it's like
hello?
Okay. Yeah, hello?
Yeah, go ahead quickly now. So
Yeah, quickly. So I think related to LUTC, you know, giving clarifications about clearing people from corruption cases and other things. I see it today like they were adapting themselves more. Because if you come and say, Maggie as the head of the institution never knew that the Bureau Pardon went on, and you yourself admitted that yes, Bureau Pardon went on and gave the unique position of the deputy minister for administration and the HR. You named the position that they were responsible for the Bureau Pardon, but then we never about this press conference today that yes, we are calling them for questioning or we are indicted those people. Yes, Maggie is innocent, but the people who are responsible, we have indicted them. We did not hear it from you because if we go after those people, we believe that they will bring document all related to Maggie. And
okay.
You that document because you want to cover Maggie, this is why you cover all of them at administration. So
okay.
I think that we work for the bureau. This is not a party issue. There was a party that I put in the party that left, and another party came to work in the interest of the bureau. And I think the two things you need to do is to put your hand on desk with them to fight corruption. Let the bureau get on competent of nation to get on path with their neighbor. That's when we have to go.
Okay, all right. I think you made your point. You made your point. Yeah, you made a point. We can continue with that. Gentlemen, let me thank you guys. Thomas Korovers, David Benedictus, Rasmus Namwe Tabwe, Edwin Famole, George Kennedy, Moses Sandy, and the rest of the team, the producers. You know, we got some of our viewers. We can call on the name Vinicius Jinamba from New Cruton, Imara Bro from the USA, Ambassador James Bill Creighton, Silas and Waryan from GS Road, Clara Kuju Mala, my very good friend, Ambassador David V. Okoli, and Lou E. Rogers, Roberto Richards from the US, and the rest of all of you. We can call all the names. Some have got of us. Until then, have a pleasant night. Sabo George is my name.